Hello and welcome to episode 61 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I am joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by DrummerBot. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you lovely gents today?
I am doing okay. It is far too early to be doing this, but I am okay.
DrummerMatt wants to make us suffer, but that's okay because we love him. It's fine.
But are you okay, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good. I just noticed on my notes it is episode 61 and had a sort of weird mind-blowing moment of, that's a lot of episodes. Mm-hmm. I don't know why 61 is the one that triggered that feeling.
That's at least 60 episodes.
60 I was fine with. 61 I'm just like, whoa.
Is it the realisation there is literally several days' worth of this nonsense?
Oh, yeah.
And all these years we've been talking for free. I mean, we're still technically kind of talking for free.
Anyway,
DrummerMatt is.
Snipe, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Oh dear.
So, we've got a couple of little things to mention from Nova, which is a convention thing going off in America, I believe.
Probably.
I actually realised as I was saying it, I don't actually know where it occurs.
It's in Nova Scotia. That's where it got its name.
You know what? For all I know, that could be true.
Yeah, could be, couldn't it?
But it doesn't matter because we're not there. There's a few little leaks that have come out. Well, leaks is the wrong word. They've been previews of stuff that Games Workshop has put out, and thought we'd just mention a couple of them because they're a little interesting.
But as interesting as your typos there. Like, first of all, speak freaks.
It's at least 2 hours before I'm a functional human being in the morning right now. Leave me alone. Anyway, as I was so horribly spoiled there.
Yes, horribly spoiled.
Speed Freaks we got a bit more details about it, which, if you don't know, is seemingly a boxed game that contains a couple of the new buggy models, the Orc buggy models.
It's basically Gorkamorka.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they saw actual leaks of it, were like, oh, it's a new Gorkamorka, and as the token person who has actually read the Gorkamorka rulebook, I was like, no, it's not. It's not going to be. There's more to Gorkamorka than just the buggies. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be Gorkamorka, guys.
It's Gorklands, or Gas Gorks, or something.
Gas Gorks.
That sounds really...
Yeah, it does.
That's my favourite boss fight in Bloodborne. Father Gas Gorks.
But yeah, it looks like, for what we see, it does look very Gaslandsy.
Which I'm okay with.
If it and you know what, if it does come out and it ends up being remarkably similar to Gorkamorka's mechanics, then I will happily, put my hands up as being wrong. But
Put your hands up what?
I don't know, will you be in the country then?
It took me a minute, but I got there.
Anyway, moving swiftly on, there's also a war boss on Trike that's come out.
Yes.
Well, he's coming out, which looks pretty fun. He's very muscly.
Oh.
There's
He's a bit of a barra boy, is he?
This might be a strange thing to mention, but I'm noticing a lot of shirtless orcs.
Oh.
So you're getting to see their rippling chests.
Do orcs have nipples?
Oh. Yeah, I think so.
I've
seen enough porn. I've seen enough porks. That's pornography orcs.
Yeah.
Sexy.
You know what? I'm not actually 100% sure. I'd have to go and look.
Well, they have belly buttons, don't they?
They are generally presented with one, despite the fact they probably shouldn't.
Despite the fact that that's not a thing.
Well,
they're
actually,
basically mushrooms.
Actually, they could do, because they grow in a amniotic sac underground.
That is so fucking gross.
With the mushrooms above the surface, and so there could be
that one Hannibal episode.
I don't know.
It was basically some guy went crazy and tried to grow orcs, but they obviously couldn't mention it for copyright reasons. But we all knew what they meant.
Okay, you see, you could be referencing a real episode, but since I haven't seen it, I don't know if this is just you lying again.
hell. Okay, well, when was the last time I lied to you? And be honest, because you usually aren't, because you're a liar.
There's like a 5-minute lie in the last podcast where
Yes.
you are asked how you got to
5-minute
Warhammer,
lie!
and you talk about the plot of the Shadow.
I talk about... No, that's actually how I got into Warhammer. Just because it might seem a little bit extravagant to you, who's, like, just a dull butt face.
Okay, you're just lying again, so I'm going to move on to the next thing. Which is the Sisters of Battleheads. We've got a little bit of a show of how the new Sisters of Battle are going to look.
Don't even lie that much, honestly.
You're lying right now.
I'm not even lying right now. Wib's the liar. He's the one you want.
Anyway, yeah, Sisters of Battleheads. So I've actually, seen some of the basic what will be the plastic sisters.
And they
heads.
look awesome. They look so good. There's different aged sisters. They've got different hair, and I'm just like,
They actually have different haircuts now. They don't all look like Lady Gaga.
yeah. I mean, which is fine. I don't mind the occasional Lady Gaga, but when every single one of them looks like a Gaga, it's a bit weird.
I also think Gaga looked more like all of the sisters, not the other way around.
Well, yes, since the sister sculpts come from like 1992,
1947.
Yeah, it has actually been about 30 fucking
The
years.
Sisters of Battle sculpts are so old they predate Warhammer 40,000.
They predate
And
Lady
indeed
Gaga.
Games Workshop. But yeah, they look really, really cool.
They do look really good, and I'm super excited to see what they're doing.
They've also said that a beta of their new codex is going to be in the chapter approved
Ooh.
that comes out this year. Which, looking at my notes, I typoed as chapter approved.
Yes.
It's a rough morning.
With the speak freaks.
But yeah, so that should be interesting, which is funny because one of the chapter approves that we covered in Codex Compliant was one that did have a Sisters mini codex in it there as well. So, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And at least a real codex will come of it this time,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there was a Witch Hunters Codex that came out after that chapter, the old chapter approved one. So,
Yeah.
but that wasn't Codex Sisters of Battle. That was Codex Witch Hunters, which is not quite the same thing.
No. I'm just looking forward to Games Workshop actually going, oh yeah, shit, sisters are a legit army that need decent fucking models.
We maybe should do something with that faction that have been around for decades.
Well, I'm glad they finally are, but Christ, how long did it take them?
Oh, wow. Also, and this is a minor point because I know nothing about the context, all I've done is look at the picture and gone, I like the thing. In Sigmar somewhere, there is a model now for a flying squig.
Oh, thank you.
It
was me.
It was not you.
No, I want to be the flying squig.
Oh, you are the flying squig. Okay.
Because I'm small, I'm very round, and I'm very angry.
I'm hoping this is a step forward towards us finally getting a model of a mimic squig.
Ooh.
With the parrot ones.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be good. Just having old orcs with angry parrot squigs screaming abuse at people.
It would be fantastic, especially because, as far as I'm aware, I believe I'm the only human to have ever drawn one. I've looked like everywhere to see if there was a picture of one for reference. So when one shows up in one of the old Rogue Trader videos, I had to just draw something.
I mean, to be fair, you not only that, but you are the person, the man who has given Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau a color scheme all his own.
Yes.
You are the only person. You are the person that coloured the one picture of our beautiful Inquisitor boy.
I mean, I'm sure someone else has coloured that picture at some point.
I doubt it.
Okay. Well, I guess you've looked more than I have, so...
Yeah. Because I was looking for a high res for a body pillow, and all I want is a Daki Makura of Inquisitor. I literally have you, but you're not a body pillow.
Could be.
You don't look anything like Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau, so.
But yeah, that's sort of the main stuff from Nova that wanted to cover. Obviously, there's other stuff going on there as well, but I don't care.
That's fine.
Fair. Yeah. All right.
I mean, it's a little harsher than I intended, but
It's early.
It's true.
That's fine.
It's true. We also have Conquest that we did a video on.
Yes.
Oh yes, he did an unboxing of a magazine.
Yes,
Yep, because fuck everything. Fuck the police. The YouTube police.
Would you like to describe to the people at home, Snipe, what Conquest is, if they haven't happened to have seen the video?
It is a subscription-based magazine where the magazines get progressively more expensive until they reach their cap of £7.99 or your regional equivalent. Then they release about 600 of these and charge you in total about 600 quid, because every episode you get stuff to do with 40k. So in the first episode you get 3 Primaris, 3 paints, full-size Games Workshop paints, and a paintbrush and a little magazine. And a poster. And as it goes on, you get more and more stuff.
Yes. Also, to clarify, there are 80 issues.
About 600.
And the individual ones are not called episodes, they're called issues.
Why do you give me this stuff if all you're going to do is nitpick me afterwards?
Because I thought referring to a single magazine as an episode was just really funny. So yeah, we opened one up on video because, yeah, they're only available within the UK broadly. I think they are available in the Republic of Ireland too. They're an interesting prospect because, as mentioned in the video, unlike most of these things where you have to collect 1 billion of them to even have something even worthwhile, like, individual episodes are still really useful because they're just coming with individual, like, Marines or whatever. Like, at the end of it, although we won't be collecting till the end of it because it's, you know, far too expensive, and it's like weekly, which is the one thing we forgot to mention in the episode, and I wish we did, which is it comes out weekly, so it's going to get very expensive very fast. Even if the stuff inside of it does seem to be worth the money, it's too much. It would be too much money for a lot of people to lay out every month on top of it, especially if they want to do anything else, like hobby-wise. Like, even if you've got, you know, a steady income or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting, and we're going to see how it goes from here on out. We won't be doing, like, a video of every issue, because that would get silly.
Yeah.
But we'll probably do something to show what kind of happens with it, because we have got a subscription once we've kind of got, I don't know, maybe the first 10 or something. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. The other army is Death Guard, in case you don't know as well. So it's like regular Marines and Death Guard. But yeah, that's sort of a thing that exists now. And lots of people are very, very upset that it's not anywhere but the UK right now. And leaving fairly angry comments to that effect sometimes, which is weird. But yeah.
Because obviously this is our personal decision to not have Conquest sold anywhere really outside the UK. So, sorry everybody.
So it is, I think they are rolling it out in other places, because there is a Spanish language version that I've seen a picture of. So presumably it's going to come out other places at some point.
I think that's pretty much everything in general notes.
I believe so.
Yeah, Drummerbat, what have you been up to?
I have been playing a game.
Okay, Matt, what have you been up to? What game?
Sniper Elite 3. Because
Yes.
I've had it in my Steam library for ages, and I've noticed that in the Humble monthly thing, we're getting Sniper Elite 4. So I was like, well, I don't want to play 4 first, because I'll never go back and play 3 if we do that.
I mean, you'll have spoilers for World War II.
No, it's not. Shut up.
I mean, shit, dude, he has a point.
Well, that's the funniest thing I'm going to say today. That's really upsetting now. It's all downhill now.
No, what I meant was, like, because the mechanics will be better in 4 than 3, presumably.
They really are.
So, just because, you know, technology progresses. So, I won't want to. I'll go back and I'll be like, oh, this is weird. But I enjoyed it.
No.
Yeah.
It's really good, huh?
Yeah, it's very janky.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I've got a quick list of, like, various bugs that I'll go through in a minute that happened.
Remember you sent me on the WhatsApp, like, a picture of, like, this isn't a bug. It's just,
this
like,
is a feature.
Like, yes, and basically what Drummer had done is killed everyone in the area and piled them up in a big, like, good old Nazi sympathiser fuck pile.
There was 22 of them at one point.
Yeah. He just sent a photo of that to the WhatsApp and was like, am I doing it right? And everyone was like, yes. That is exactly how you do that.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I finished it. I haven't collected everything because, like, I don't really care that much. I feel like it's not a game, for me, it's not a game where I can be bothered for the collectibles. Like I collected the ones that I happened to find out, but I was like, I can't be able to like look up a guide and go through and collect. Like, yeah, it's just the point of this is I wanted to like snipe some Nazis. Like, although actually I probably killed way more with the knife than I did with the sniper.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's pretty fun though.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm intrigued to see what they do with the next one, if it's any different or if it's just different levels, basically.
Different levels, really.
Like, I can't see how they're progressing.
Third one's kind of around Africa, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the fourth one's more kind of not Africa.
Oh,
okay, good.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it is, and I'm not going to be insulting by guessing. So yeah, no, it's pretty good. I like this. There's some improvements to the gameplay. It still is a bit janky, but it wouldn't be Sniper Elite without it.
Yeah, I think I didn't play the first one, but I played the second one years ago, and I don't remember that. I don't remember it much at all, to be honest. But I don't remember it being particularly janky.
The second one was jank as fuck.
Okay, fair enough. It's just been a while.
It was bad because I played that a lot more recently. That was one of the early videos on the channel, actually.
Oh, really?
it was, yeah.
Had Wib like roll through it, which was entertainment in and of itself.
But
God, don't go watch that video. It's rough as shit.
It's really horrible.
yeah, I was going to say, everyone go back and watch it and leave comments.
Please don't.
Say,
It's like,
hello from 2018. I remember this is apparently when Snipe and Wib were crap.
yep.
Although that video does introduce one of my favourite minor bits of continuity.
Oh.
Which is in the title card for it. I just happened to be eating a Pop-Tart because at the time we were just really having a lot of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be funny. So when we came into another Sniper Elite game, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 that we did a video on,
I think
like
it
a
was
year ago.
3. Or maybe it might have been 4, actually.
I literally don't remember, but whichever one it was, you're having a Pop-Tart as well. Just, I did that.
And
that
like,
was
well,
actually it was you that drew that.
I drew that one, and it was just me sitting there eating a Pop-Tart with my jaw like flung open in the X-ray, and my eyes just exploding out of my head.
Nice.
Because I coloured it. That's why in my brain, like I was to do with that. Yeah.
Because I'm not really a digital artist. But no, Sniper Elite is good. I've spent so many hours in Sniper Elite 4. God, it's so...
You should play it co-op.
Yeah, we should play it co-op
Yes.
if you want to get together and play it. I mean, you probably have never done anything to deserve being partnered up with someone like me in a co-op game, but if you want to try for a little while...
Yeah, totally. Anywho, my quick... Just because they're quite funny, I just want to go through my quick jank list of Sniper Elite 3. So, quite often, if you... like do a quick save and then do a quick load later on, the various bodies will disappear, but not always. Just some of the bodies will disappear, which is annoying because you spend ages hiding them, and then one that you're about to hide disappears. And you're like, oh, I didn't need to bother walking halfway around the map to throw him off a cliff then.
I don't know. That sounds like its own reward, but yeah.
Does that mean that you could like cheese the game out by quick loading, quick saving?
No, because it's like every 1 in 4 times, or I don't know. It's like it's not at all regularly enough to use it as a cheat. It's just annoying sometimes.
Okay.
It's a moderately inconsistent bug.
Especially when you're trying to like search people or things, because then you want to search their bodies and then they disappear and take away whatever loot they had. Quite often when I load a game, vehicles that I've blown up earlier in that mission will just blow up again. Like, if I've blown something up at the start, near the start of the mission, like there's one of the missions where you have to take out a load of like jeeps. So one of the first few missions.
Yeah, I know which one.
Then like later on in the game, I just happened to load it, and then the explosion animation happened, and then loads of people got alerted. I was like, but that happened like an hour ago.
I'm trying to think. I think there might be something like that in Sniper Elite 4, where occasionally something like 3 miles away will just explode. And you're like, okay,
but
health and safety wasn't big back then, but...
Oh, that's it. Cars just exploded in the 40s.
They just had to deal with that.
That was just a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, ones that were already exploded somehow exploded again, but
they hadn't quite worked out the kinks of an internal combustion engine.
Yeah, because half cars were still external combustion
Yeah,
engines.
okay.
Because then they explode you, and then it doesn't matter where you were going, because you go to the afterlife.
It doesn't matter where you're going, because you're going straight to hell.
Yep.
Good. Quick save, and this one was annoying. This is my last issue with saves. Quick saves and normal saves are weirdly separate, which I know they are anyway, but I had an issue. So I'd done one level and I died. So I reloaded the last save, but it loaded a save that was like earlier than my most recent quick save. It loaded like a real save. So I went back to try and load the quick save, but because I hadn't realised straight away, I'd overwritten the quick save, and then I ended up having to start a level. I ended up I tried to load an earlier one, or a different one on the same level, which happened to be even earlier, but then I couldn't go back to the later one because the one that it actually loaded as being the load last save had just disappeared. So I basically had to do the whole level again at one point. Just because of weird jankiness between like remembering which is the most recent save and which ones are quick saves and I don't quite understand what happened. But
yeah, no, that's weird because it sounds like the quick save and the auto save basically are the same thing.
Yeah, something like that. I have no idea. It was weird and annoying, and I had to do a mission again.
Oh,
quite often I'm wandering around, and then from halfway around the other map, it just says, "Heard sound" from someone like the other side of the map, and you're like, "But you've just."
He's got really good ears. He's been.
I know sometimes they find bodies where they've just presumably killed each other. I guess.
I think. I do remember something like that. Like one of them like fell off a cliff or something, and then someone at the bottom of the cliff was like, "A body." There has to be a sniper, even though he's obviously just walked off the edge of a cliff and broken every bone in his body on the way down. A sniper somehow did this, and you're just like, I feel I'm being unfairly victimized here.
And then just like texture pop-ins and things, especially with that binoculars, or you've got the longest zoom. Like at NPCs, their path where just like tries to glitch them through walls and things sometimes, and it's janky as fuck, and I don't quite understand how. But glitches aside, I did still enjoy it. I'm quite lucky. I will play the 4th. I just wanted to get this one out of the way first.
Yeah, dude, I get you.
Long shots I couldn't find. I found one of them out of the 8.
Oh, long shot.
Because it's just one like specific shot, and I've done like the one that I got. I've had other shots that were longer than that, but because it's not the exact same space or the exact right person, it doesn't count. I'm just like,
are these like specific trick shots in specific places?
Yeah, I guess so.
In the 4th one, they kind of take those out and replace them with the statues that you have to shoot.
Okay.
You don't really have like, specifically kill this person with this, but I mean, you do get bonus points for that. So, like, it will say, like, kill so many Nazis with an explosion. Or whatever. Like, with one explosion. So they kind of have, like, the things like that, but it's not. It's literally just for level up points, so you can, spend on whatever. But yeah, also in the 4th one, because video games, they have golden skins for weapons, which are all hideously fucking ugly.
Yeah, but...
Because I've unlocked one for, like, what's the gun I use? What's the rifle I use? Don't want to piss off a gun nut. Ugh. They might leave me angry comments in the YouTube videos. Shit, I can't remember. I can't remember which rifle I use.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, it's like, it has the ugliest fucking... Because you get, like, the mastery challenge, and then you unlock the golden skin for it.
Okay.
And it's just like, wow, this is so hideous. I never ever want to use this. Thanks. I hate it. It's actively ruined my life. Thank you, Snipe and Wib.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that I changed my gun was when I unlocked one. I mean, there's only 3 anyway, or 4, I think. But I just used whichever one had the biggest zoom.
But yeah, no, I say the only problem with the 4th one, and I think that this has always really been a problem with the Sniper Elite series, is the DLC is egregious and fucking abusive.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the 4th one, it's just like, let's cut out, like, weapons and characters and all this other shit just to sell you piecemeal, and it's like, wow, fuck you. That is, like, my biggest problem with it. But that's kind of my biggest problem with gaming in general.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at just ignoring DLC and just be like, okay, the game is the game. Fine, whatever. Yeah. And it's just, But yeah, that's basically it. I finished the campaign, and that's, And then I won't start a new one yet, because we've got visitors coming, and then I'm in the UK for a bit, and then we have more visitors coming. So... Basically, September is a write-off for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, whenever, like, I guess in October we'll have to have a game.
Yes, most definitely. Speaking of the UK, I will be back, and I will be coming to see you, and I will come and shoot some of your things with my towels.
Excellent.
That sounds good.
Because I'm definitely hankering a game.
Heck yeah, dude. We'll have to have a game of 8th with you.
It's been a long time, because I don't have my models in France. Or know anyone else in France who plays. I guess it's possibly more the issue.
You've not played 8th yet, have
No,
you?
I haven't. No, I played... We used to play 5th a lot, and then we had like one game of 6th. Or was it 7th that we tried?
We tried a few games of 6th.
And then that's how long it's been.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'll tell you what.
I've been reading through the rulebook recently. The rulebook is like weirdly, it's big, but there's not that many pages of rules.
It's like 8 pages.
It's
of
like
rules,
most of the like rules info in the book are different like scenarios to play through. Like it seems really rules light somehow. Like
they've streamlined the shit out of it.
In previous rule books, I remember like there was like loads of pages on special rules and what each special rule means and things. You know, you had to go to this page to work out what this special rule was, and there's like none of that. It's I don't quite which I can get behind if it's still a fun game to play. Like that's great.
But yeah, no, it does speed it up some. I do approve of the changes.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as to how it all. And I've had a bit of a look through. I was really confused by the codex to start with because there's no points values in there, and I was like, but how do you? And I know they're like trying to push down on the. It doesn't matter what points values you are. You might as well have an unbalanced fight and it be unfun for everyone, for some reason. But like,
well, I mean, yeah, but you don't have to put it so bluntly.
There's PowerPoints, which
which are a vague approximation, and then it was like I had to Google it. And it was like, at the end there's just a list of actual points if you want to play properly. And I was just like, why is that a thing?
I mean, I wouldn't put it that harshly, but also yes.
No, if you want to play it as the open play or whatever they call it, like if that's what you enjoy, absolutely no criticism to you. But it just seems weird that they're encouraging it so much when surely relatively fair fights are better for everyone, right? Unless there's like a specific, if it's like a situation where it's like, you know, a few squads holding off against a huge army, or you know, if there's something like that, fine. But if you're just having like a fight, just for the sake of having a fight. Having it vaguely balanced so one person isn't just shat on.
I think what they wanted to do is to make it so that it doesn't take like 45 minutes to just decide what your army is.
Yeah,
because you can just go, we're going to do an 80 PowerPoint game. Okay.
Okay,
and then you can pull that up and work that out super quickly because you don't have to go work out the minutiae of what your characters are all equipped with. That would be my guess. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But I don't know how many people who play 40k, you know, if you spent months building these models and then some people painting them, like I feel like those are the sort of people who want to spend a little bit of time making their army list. Well, but maybe not exclusively. Yes. And if you don't, again, no criticism. It's just it's just not how I thought it would work.
It's new and scary, and you don't like it.
Yeah, I think basically. But I'm very keen to have a quick game or two. Oh, my last thing I've done this week or in this fortnight, I've taken Facebook and Twitter off my phone, and I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I highly recommend.
I mean,
it's great. Like I've still got like a computer and my tablet with them on, so I can still check it. But it's just not constantly thinking about I should tweet this or I should check if someone else has said something. For me, it's done wonders for my like sitting on my phone all the time. And it's not for everyone, but but I recommend giving it a try, just because I just found myself like, you know, having a conversation or watching something and just always checking my phone, and it's just like, I don't think this is good. I don't know. I was getting quite anxious about like always being aware of always being on my phone, I think. So I don't know if if anyone's feeling like that, I just for like a week or so, I recommend taking them off and just being like, actually, I don't need to check this all the time.
Yeah. No
judgment if you do, or whatever, again, but just for me, it's
You're
just...
You're being very judgmental this episode.
No, but I'm just saying for me, it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
And they might go back on at some point, I don't know, but...
Yeah, no, good on you, dude, because that kind of a hold is hard to break. So
it's a habit, and it's difficult to get out of.
It is. Like, without being, gosh darn millennials, seeing as we are millennials.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, phones are great, but you can kind of, like, fall back on them a bit too hard occasionally.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of it.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I just wanted to see what it'd be like if I didn't do that for a bit. And it's really nice.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I ain't got fucking anything else to do apart from sit there and realise that I have depression, so yeah. Distractions are helpful.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Without getting too real about it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah, no. Also, like, when you're out and about and anxious, being on your phone is really helpful. Because I don't have very much data, so I'll tend to just flip back and forth on my fucking home screen, being like, yeah, Doom guy. Looking at my wallpaper, and that's it. But yeah, no, good on you, dude. Like, all seriousness, that like I say, that shit can be difficult. So, so yeah, I'm glad you're being a bit more productive. That sounds like I'm being really judgmental to say that you weren't productive before, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm definitely not being more productive. I'm just being like actually in the moment with whatever else I'm doing. Like if I'm not doing anything else, I can do it. But it's just I was trying to like if I'm literally having a conversation with someone, not also be on my phone and things like that.
Hubbo Matt, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yes.
Not much because, in theory, when this goes live, new Codex compliant should be up.
Should be live and up for everybody. It's going to be good.
I basically have a mountain of work in front of me right now, and it's a little bit terrifying, but it's fine.
Can you reveal which codex it is?
I think we're probably.
In fact, you can because it's already out by the time everyone. Basically, can you tell me what it is in advance?
It's
Codex Dark Eldar.
The 3rd edition one. Well, the one that was around from like 1998 to 2010.
Yeah, so a while.
So yeah, we did that one because that's the first codex I ever had. So.
And it's so edgelordy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty great.
What was it? Death is my meat, terror my wine.
Yeah.
It's maybe like terror my wife. You can't be married to terror.
But anyway,
I can be married to terror. I mean, like Wib's doing it pretty well.
Anyway, move on. Go watch the fucking episode instead of hearing us waffling about
We
it.
worked really hard on it, goddamn y'all.
It's long and difficult. Got a new camera, so I can do fancy tricks.
Ooh.
We can record at 50 frames a second now, and it's really fucking weird.
And I'm only mildly confused as to how to use the camera. So it won't be perfect, but I'm getting there. I'm learning.
I'm really proud of you. You're doing really well.
But apart from that, I've actually been doing a little bit of painting and stuff. I tend to not get to paint models very often, or I don't have the motivation to.
Know that feeling.
Yeah.
So, I was quite happy actually. I've actually managed to get a couple of models finished, and I'm going to mention them solely because what they are amuses me. So, I painted a Space Crusade Orc. Yes, I know I still have an Imperial Knight to finish. Yes, I know I have...
He's actually got an Imperial Knight sat there with one shoulder pad finished. He hasn't even undercoated the whole fucking thing yet.
Yep.
The weapons are still needing an undercoat.
Yep.
And what is it? He buys a fucking, like, a handful of Space Crusade models from eBay, waits days for it to arrive, undercoats them, and paints a fucking Space Crusade Orc up to his amazing painting quality. All the while the knight is sitting there with muted horror watching.
There's my half of Dark Imperium and my half of Kill Team to paint as well.
Got mine too, but that's not the point. I painted one towel from my old... Jesus Christ.
Oh no, I meant the new Kill Team, not the old
thank
one.
God! I still haven't done that.
Yeah, you haven't done that either, so I don't know why you're saying thank God.
Yeah. I'm the worst, but I'm afraid.
The other thing I did was I actually finished a model that I started painting probably about 5 years ago.
But it looks great. You did really well.
I finished painting a 2nd edition chaplain for a new quote-unquote new chapter of Marines that I'm doing, because basically I get so hung up on detail and stuff. It's one of the things that stops me painting so much. Because I kind of overanalyze, and if it's not perfect, I kind of go, I can't deal with it, so I have to, like, everything takes me ages because of that. But I found a colour scheme that I actually painted up a squad of years and years ago, of these Silver Marines, and I just never came up with a backstory. I just fancied, like, painting a squad in a different colour scheme, so I made one up and just painted them. But the scheme is remarkably quick to do for me, so I'm like, okay, the models that we've got from Conquest, because, spoilers, we bought a shit ton of issues of Conquest issue 1. Because it was £2.
Okay, because there was a bunch of them left and we're not jerks.
Yeah. We weren't just buying a shit ton of them to sell on eBay like a scalper.
No, we weren't scalping. We were just like, hee, models are fun.
So I'm going to paint them like this. So I wanted to finish off one of the models that I started of that I never got around to finishing, which was a chaplain, like a 2nd edition chaplain. And I was just really impressed with past me, because not only had I like made a new arm for him because he's one of the era where they'd have like one arm that wouldn't be attached and it'd be a plastic arm. And it'd look really awkward because it was like the really flat second edition ones. But I'd obviously lost that piece anyway, so I'd replaced it with a third edition arm, which is a little bit more dynamic. And I'd like rebuilt the gauntlet to make it match the other one. I'm like looking at it and going, wow, well done past me, because present me couldn't be arsed with that. So I finished him. There'll probably be pictures up on Twitter by the time you hear this. So I was just kind of happy with myself. And my next painting project is, apart from the Primaris...
Not your Imperial Knight.
Not the Imperial Knight. Is something possibly a little more special. After the Primaris are like a secondary thing, but I managed to get hold of a Rogue Trader Dreadnought. The goofy little ones. Now
it's really goofy.
If you've not seen them, go Google Rogue Trader Dreadnought. They're adorable little things. They're about the same height as a modern Dreadnought, but they're a lot thinner. And they come on a smaller base. But I'm going to keep it as is, because I kind of feel it's a shame to rip apart a model that old, or to modify it. I kind of want to just keep it as it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But the interesting thing is that it's something where I can't actually run it as is, because there's no model that has the same thing, because it's basically 2 close combat weapons with 2 Stormbolters. And the closest thing is a Furioso Dreadnought.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So it looks like my force is going to be Blood Angels, just by that metric, and I'll just have to pretend. And if I ever play anyone with them, because I mean, I would imagine that if I play with them against someone and I just pop down a Dread that old, if they're a dickhead, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the wrong size," but or if it's in a tournament situation, but I wouldn't run it in a tournament.
No. That's definitely a funsies.
Yeah, it's a funsies thing. Or they'll do what I would do, which is go, "Holy shit, that's a Rogue Trader Dreadnought. Of course you can fucking use it. That's great."
Please, like, choke me with it.
But I just have to say, one of these is a melter. It's okay. Like, just it counts as, just don't worry about it. But that's my next actual thing to do.
See, if you put down a can of Pepsi and was like, "This is a counts as Dreadnought," I might have a problem. But if you go, it has a melter. Can you just?
I think my reasoning of not wanting to chop the weapon off the hand of a Rogue Trader thing. Yeah. I managed to get it for about half the price I normally go for as well. So that's the reason I got one, because normally you can pick them up for about £25 off eBay, which is, I mean, it's still cheaper than a modern Dreadnought, but there's not much to them. So
yeah.
And it is an ancient model, so
it's a little piece of history, though, isn't it?
So I just wanted one of those. So I'll be painting that up. I mean, who knows? That'll probably be something that I'll do in between pulling my hair out, finishing off Codex Compliant to try and relax. So I might have it done by the time you hear this. And if so, again, check out my Twitter, because I'll post pictures of it.
And if not, bully him.
Yes.
Cyberbully him into posting pictures of his Dreadnought. Be like, just at him, like, "Hey,
Cyberbully me, daddy."
Yeah, so it was like, "Hey, it's me, your daddy," regardless of gender, because daddy is kind of, I feel, can be a gender-neutral term. But I mean, personal preferences, you do whatever you want. It's like, and just be like, "Hey, it's so-and-so, daddy. I demand that you finish that Rogue Trader Dreadnought that you promised you were going to finish, because I want to see you do good things, and I know that you can. I love you." Mwah.
See, we have very different definitions of what someone bullying you you calling them daddy is.
Yeah. I like mine better.
I'm going to move on now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I was being really positive, but sure, yeah. It's fine.
So I've been playing more of The Surge, and I just wanted to add something, because my opinion has evolved slightly from the last time we spoke. So
what are your increased findings?
My increased findings?
Yes.
Well, I've done the next kind of big chunk of the game, so I've been through the next 2 areas, and I'm on to the 3rd boss now. There's actually not as many bosses in it as you might think. It does seem a little lighter on them. And I will say that having beaten multiple of them, I do find the fact that I've not encountered a boss yet that's just a straight-up fight. They're all multi-stage, little gimmicky things. I'm not the hugest fan of that, because I think the second one was okay, but the first and third one are just kind of annoying to fight.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fun, they're just annoying. But the actual core game, where you're fighting just the things in the area, I actually have grown to actually really quite appreciate. I found that the game is increased significantly, by rather than using a big heavy weapon, which is what I do in Dark Souls. I quite like wielding great swords and things like that. Just go fast. Just get
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, just do what Sonic taught you in the 90s, and you gotta go fast. Use a quick weapon, and you just tear people apart. It's great. And
Longfang in Monster Hunter refers to me as a blender.
Yeah, basically.
Because I have like the double daggers, and you literally just spin around, and just chop up so many
Yeah.
things.
Because with a slow weapon, it can be quite difficult to deal with faster enemies. But if you're also fast, that's not a problem. And the slower enemies, they just can't deal with you at all. So
We win.
Yeah, it's quite fun. The other thing is, I've got to give them credits, because the actual level design, once you get further into it, you realise it's fucking Demon Souls. Each area has one bonfire, effectively.
Yeah.
And it loops around itself, opening more and more bonfires. Even the original Dark Souls didn't do that so much, but because that was one big world, whereas this does have like instanced areas. You can't walk from one like area to the other. You take a train to get to them.
So it's basically London.
Yes.
And about as friendly.
But it's like Demon Souls. So each area is like its own place, but it's like segmented in such a way that you just keep unlocking shortcuts back to that first bonfire. And
that is pretty much just exactly Demon Souls.
As you go, you're getting more and more and more, and like they even reuse certain areas. But then you get to go a different way. So like, say instead of going like working your way sort of like down, you're sort of going up, or working on the other side of something.
That's actually really cool.
From a level design perspective, I'm genuinely impressed by what they've done, because that sort of stuff is not easy to pull off and not make it kind of tedious. They've actually done a really good job. The only other thing I would like to mention about it is a quirk of the game. So, you know how in Dark Souls, if you run through an area, enemies keep aggro for so long that you're going to have them chasing you for some time, so you kind of have to know what you're doing with the areas to run through them for the most part. In the Surge, acquisition ranges are quite small, and they don't chase you for very long. So, if you get really frustrated with an area, like I did at some point in the second area, because I was low on health kits, and I knew I was close to unlocking a shortcut, I just had the gut feeling of it, but I was getting really bogged down in enemies. I just fucking ran for it and just went and unlocked the shortcut, and you can totally do that in this game.
Beautiful.
There are huge areas where you can just run through, even if you've never been through them before.
Just yeehaw.
Yeah.
Fucking Scarpa.
It is totally a tactic that works in this game. So if you are playing it and you get a little frustrated with an area, that is an option. Of course, that can go very badly, like it can in Dark Souls, but it's way more of a viable tactic than it is in a mainline like Souls game.
Like, number one tactic of Surge, run. Fucking run.
Although I was kind of annoyed. So I noticed in the first area there's a thing that you can open if you have 55 core power, which is like the level that you have. And I happened to be at level 50 in like an area, a couple of areas later, and I was like, I wonder what that is. So I spent like an hour grinding out the extra 5 levels, and went all the way back, and then all it did was give me some items that would upgrade a weapon that I can't make yet.
Nice.
So I was just like, oh, I was hoping it would be another area.
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
But still, I am enjoying it. Like I say, just the bosses are just a little bit. It's the only problem I really have with the game, is that I don't particularly enjoy the bosses. Yeah, like I beat the bosses because I want to get to the next area, because I enjoy the kind of general grind and exploration of the game. But yeah, and it's kind of it's weird, because I enjoy Dark Souls bosses a lot more. Basically, I guess is the thing, because there are gimmicky bosses, but they are way less gimmicky. And they're not like, oh, once you've beaten this phase, then it goes into this phase, and then you have to do this and knock this part off, and then it becomes this phase, which there are Dark Souls bosses like that, as I say, but all of them have been like that so far, so it's a bit like, eh. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for today. So, Snipe, what have you been doing?
So many things. But I'm going to condense it down to this list that makes it look like I've not been doing too much.
Okay.
I've been playing more Pokemon Sun.
Nice.
Thank you again, Shanus. Thank you very much. I've been getting along there. It's hard coming back to it after all these years, because the last few Pokemon games I properly completed were Red, Blue, and Yellow. So it's been a little while. And like, in the old game, and games of that era, that era, especially RPGs, you'd have to grind out a lot of levels before you go on, say, face the boss. That was just the way it was. You know, you'd like a gym comes up and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm probably not going to be high enough. So you go and grind out, and then you just about scrape by. I started this game out kind of like grinding and doing that, and you tend to kind of like low key do that anyway, because you're scouring for Pokemon to catch, because you got to catch them all.
Yeah, I mean, grinding's kind of just a part of the kind of JRPG thing, which is what it kind of borrows a lot of its structure from. But the thing is, it's not adjusted for that. So, like, I was just like, I'll grind a little bit, but I'll then basically look for new Pokemon, catch a few, build up, actually get a team of Pokemon together. And Are you saying it's balanced for Nuzlocke runs?
No, I'm saying it's balanced for people not doing what I'm doing.
So you're just powering through all the bosses?
Yeah, no, I'm powering through everything to the point where it's actually it starts to get difficult to catch Pokemon, because my Pokemon are just such a high level, and you get XP share like within the first hour, which is awesome. But
was that like a late game thing before?
There was XP all. I think it took you quite a while to get. But yeah, no, you get it really, really early, which is like, that's such a relief. But at the same time, I'm hunting for Pokemon, and then everyone's getting loads of levels. And then you get to like, oh, like there's a random trainer fight. And it's like, oh, so-and-so sent out a Pokemon that's level 10, and you're like level 20. And you're like, sorry. And then you just one-hit kill everything they send out. And you're like, yeah, what can I do? But then there's the trials, which fuck you up. Because the trials are so there's like, it's not so much, you know, as a what's the word?
Difficulty curve.
It's not so much a difficulty curve, it's a difficulty cliff. Like, it's just like, it stops and then just shoots up into the fucking sky for 30 feet. That's what the trials are. So you'll be cruising like it's nothing. And then you'll get to one of the trials, which is like one of the big angry totem Pokechus. And like, what they do is they cast like SP defense on them, which means that they have massive resistances to special attacks. Even if it's like a super effective and you're playing to type. So like, I'm stuck on the fire one now, and so I send out my fucking, what's her name? Her name is Medley, my slowpoke.
Medley.
And Medley. Oh. From like,
Oh, it's from Zelda.
Yeah.
It's because an old picture I drew that was me as a slowpoke going, hey guys, Ocarina of Time is a good game.
Yeah, and I was like...
So I kind of associate Slowpoke with Zelda now for some reason.
And I associate Slowpokes with Wib, because he just really likes them.
I like Slowpokes.
So I was like, I just called a Slowpoke, what should I call her? And he was like, Medley. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, they gate in other Pokemon, and it's just really frustrating. They're really poorly designed.
Are those mandatory fights?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are mandatory.
So they are just proper difficulty spikes, not just optional challenges.
Yeah, no, they are massively difficult. And it's like, yeah, because...
Maybe you're supposed to consider those in the same place as what the old, like, big trainer battles
they
would
are.
be.
They absolutely are. But this is the thing. You come out the other side of that, and then everything else is about level with you. Not in this game. So it's like, I'm coming up to like level 30. Everything I'm finding in the wild is still about 18. And I've just caught a Cubone who is amazing, and I love him, and his name is Frank, because he's my darling little sweet Cubone boy. And Alola Marowaks are fucking awesome. And I'm like... I mean, you can give Pokemon things to hold, but it's still, like, really frustrating. So I'm going to have to go and level up for a bit to beat this thing, and then I'm going to come out on the other side to go towards my next trial, and I'm going to be way too powerful for all the other Pokemon and, like, train. It's really weird.
Is this going to be one of those things where you're going to look up online and there's, like, a trick?
There's probably going to be a trick, but I can't wait. There'll be like one really angry person in the comments going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're playing it wrong and you don't know immediately and instinctively how to do this like I did because I came out of my mother and just knew exactly how to play this game properly." Because there's always that one fucking asshole.
It's probably it's probably like there's something that was in the last game that you didn't play.
Yeah, probably, because like I say, the last few I did with the original ones, and then yellow. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also, I went to the Game Freak office in Pokemon Sun, and people were like, "Hey, I made the game. I hope you enjoy it." And it's like, "Fuck you, give me Pokeballs. Stop making them so expensive." Thank you for letting me pet my Pokemon. That's really cool. I like that mechanic. That's really good. But yeah, no. So I'm just gonna have to level up more, and I'm really angry because I want to get an Umbreon, and it's just not happening. And I'm very cranky. I'll figure it out. I've been playing a bit more WoW, because of course I have.
Nice.
Really been enjoying that. Just trying to unlock world quests right now, and it's just having so much fun. Getting back into roleplay as well. I've joined a really small kind of cozy guild, and I'm getting to know those guys, and that's nice. See, I have a social life outside of my vaguely small social life. Shut up. It's fine. But no, I've been really enjoying that still. That's really cool. Also played a new game.
Yeah.
Played it for this week's video, Prey.
Yeah.
Which is basically not Prey from Xbox days. Which is why it's good, really.
It's completely unrelated to the old Prey.
Yeah.
Because this is good and memorable.
Yeah, and it's basically System Shock 2. Which is the furthest thing from a problem I can think of.
I always think it's a very good sign when, because I mean, as you can probably tell from the videos we put out, we play them for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then we edit that down into something.
So first impression.
So kind of like our videos are sort of like a first impressions thing, but the vast majority of games we probably won't ever play again after that first hour. Whereas when we play it for an hour and then we have to stop because we're like, no, the video will be too long if we record for much longer.
Exactly.
As opposed to, we've hit the time period.
Yeah, we've hit an hour and a half. Okay, let's call it a day. But this was like, okay.
I kind of want to play more.
Because
it's just really cool.
It's really cool. I like the fact that, it's designed very well. I like... What was it we said? Because it feels like it's taken a lot of inspiration from a bunch of different games. So you have like a lot of System Shock 2 things where you have a set inventory. It's kind of like, if you remember Deus Ex's inventory, it's like that, where everything has like this weapon takes up 2 cubes of your 30 cube inventory. It's like that, and you can upgrade yourself, and there's like 3 trees you can go through, which is like scientist, engineer, and security, and of course my favourite weapon is the wrench.
Obviously.
It's just, you can't fuck up a wrench, but you can fuck things up with a wrench. And and mimics, and phantoms. Those are the 2 enemies I've encountered. And now, mild spoilers if you want to go into it completely blind, but I mean... So mimics are shock horror. They can just take the shape of other random objects lying about. So, like, you can startle one, and then it'll just pop off, and then you won't know where it is. And then there'll be 2 coffee mugs on the side, and you'll be like...
Or suddenly there'll be 2 chairs next to each other.
Yeah, and then you belt one of them and it's a mimic. And it's like, that's really fucking good, because it makes you so paranoid. Because like, I'll walk into a room and I'll just hold up my wrench like, okay, furniture. Let's get one thing fucking straight. I've got the wrench.
Like, we make a comparison in the video to it, that it's basically like a horror version of that old Prop Hunt TF2 game type.
I think it was a Gmod game type as well.
Yeah, they did do a Gmod version of it,
kind of thing.
And yeah, it's just a really cool idea. Like
because it makes you, it basically sets you on edge all the time, and that's not in a kind of, oh my god, I'm gonna get jump scared. It's just something in him might want to hurt me, and I don't know I don't know what it is. It could be that lamp, or that lamp right next to it, but who knows?
And I've heard that Prey is not as good the whole way through, but that start is so strong.
It's a very strong opening.
Even though it gets spoiled in the video, I kind of don't even want to talk about like the plot things because it's just interesting.
It's just really cool. It is very cool.
It also manages to be genuinely funny a couple of times as well,
Very
like,
much
when it's
so.
trying to be as well.
Yeah.
Like, so
No, I mean, I'm quite impressed with it. 'Cause I will be playing more of it because it does have a great kind of horror kind of like atmosphere to it. Because there's the whole like mimics and phantoms. I love. They are horrible and they frighten me, but I like them.
don't some of them have just names? Like I'm sure
we saw one called Clive.
It's like
I'm sure we saw one called Clive. But yeah, and it's like there's basically it's the same kind of like look of the mimic, so it's black and squiggly. And
Eldritch horrors, basically.
Yeah, and they kind of wander around and they're humanoid shapes, and they just say fragments of sentences you know that they've overheard somewhere. So like one of them was wandering around going, one of these things will learn how to do this and that'll be the end of us. Or something like that, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm going to be honest.
Did you hear that?
I don't think it's because I think they're mutated people. That's why they have the
That's
names.
even spookier. Oh my heck. It's good. But no, I like it. I'm going to play more of that.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
But yeah, I mean, guess we can get on to D&D now.
Yeah.
We've got about 46 hours to recall because it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while since we've recorded anything to do with the D&D stuff. So,
Well, last we left our heroes, we
Yes.
defeated the Displacer Beasts, which Squiggle Cats, as we dubbed them.
yeah. So I feel, because this is actually, there's a long chain of events.
There is a long chain. Do you want to recall?
Yeah, so after saving the town from a dragon, we went to a party, and then it became Die Hard.
Which was amazing.
Because it got attacked by a bunch of bandits. One of them, we helped, defeat the bandits, partially by me getting greased up.
Yeah, long story.
And one of the bandits was captured and was interrogated.
I think it was the only one we left alive.
The only one was left alive.
You didn't leave anyone alive, but the mayor was being a badass and she managed to knock someone down and knock him out.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And this guy gave us a location of where his bosses were, which turned out to actually...
After you managed to fail multiple attempts at persuasion and then try and bribe him.
Yep. That's me.
It turned out that he was lying and just sent us to a cave full of displacer beasts. So we were where we last left off.
And like barged through a fucking bridge that was being guarded by a Drider.
Oh yeah, there was
and a
that
bunch
as
of
well.
drow.
But yeah, so we came back somewhat pissed off after all of the horrors we just had to deal with for no reason.
Yeah. So we were all kind of like marching back to town, like muttering angrily, being like, "We're not mad. We're just disappointed and furious.
We might
kill him.
We might kill him." So we head back to town and we have hideous plans of what to do with this random bandit who directed us the wrong way. Like, we're not going to do anything too bad because our alignment wouldn't allow it, but we want to.
We want to hurt him. So we decide that Johnny's like gonna play a bunch of really bad music at him for hours.
We thought that'd be fun. But when we get to the guardhouse, the mayor is there.
And the mayor tells us that they've done some stock take and she's found out that they basically infiltrated and stole a book from the town hall where the ball was held, and they die-harded us pretty difficultly.
And that combined with a book that was stolen earlier in the campaign from the library suggests that
there's a bunch of book thieves, and we're like, oh shit.
And they're magical books of the different schools of magic.
Magical book thieves. Yes, which there are 8, and 2 that we know of have been nicked. So we're like, shit. Guess we probably should get on that. And she's like, okay, and she gives us the name of a guy. It's like, oh yeah, this guy might have some info for you on this book. His name is Andir. And we're all like, we know, okay, yeah, he's new. Yeah, no. For those of you who will remember, we infiltrated a collector's house and just stole something from him. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was a book.
And there was some sort of statuary thing, I think. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, no, that was it. It was a statue for Talus's, like, childhood friend.
Because that's where we fought the spectator.
Yes, who was guarding the room.
Guard in the room. Guard in the room.
Guard in the room. Guard in the room.
So we've now got to go and play nice with the guy who we stole from.
He doesn't know, as far as we're aware, that we were the ones who broke in and stole something from him. So we're like, oh, that'll be fine. That's fine. So we go home and get very drunk. We go back to the inn, and Johnny plats Nathan's hair to a banister after he's passed out.
This is not important to the plot
It's not important,
at all,
this is
but
just...
it needs to be mentioned.
He just got drunk and Nathan passed out on the stairs, so Johnny decided to plait his hair to a banister because he's a jerk. So the next morning we decided to go see Andy, and we're a little bit nervous. Not really. I'm fine, but everyone else is really nervous. So we go in, and it's like he's this big, scary, kind of older guy who's like, obviously, he could kill us or have us killed if he wanted to, and we're all like, we're trying to not think about that. So he's like, yes, you see, had a little bit of a lapse in security, you know, and we're like, oh, really? Oh no, that's really bad. And Talus says something really dumb like, we didn't do it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it said, but it was ridiculous.
Talus is like, well, I mean, if we were to break in here, which we didn't that night that you got broken into, we wouldn't do it because it's bad and wrong. And we all had to roll fucking, like, deception, which was terrifying.
And I don't think any of you rolled above about a 7 or something.
Yeah.
But,
we're fucked. We're dead.
But you don't know the consequences of that yet.
Yet.
However... Andy does know something, or at least he says he knows something that could help us figure out what's going on with these books being stolen. But
he wants a little quid pro quo.
He will only tell us for a price, and that is that we have to go to a dungeon somewhere and get a sword that's in the dungeon. And we agree, you know, he seems shady and he might try and kill us, but...
I mean, he's probably going to try and kill us, let's be honest.
But we need the information, because if these magic books are going missing, then we sort of need to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and you made the connection, yeah, because you found out the first book that was gone, you found out it was something to do with this so-called Brotherhood.
Yes, the Brotherhood nicking off with all these magic books.
And yeah, Amdir tends to know about people who are looking for items, because that's what he does. He's a collector of various magical and valuable items. So he's got, like, contacts, and he knows if someone's going to be looking for stuff, he might know, you know, who's asking around and that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's also shady as fuck and is probably going to kill us, but, you know. Okay, anyone? Just, if you haven't played D&D, anytime a DM laughs, be afraid. Even if they're not DMing right now, be afraid.
But yeah, so we get ourselves ready to go out and go to where the dungeon that we've been instructed to go to is. We go to a potion shop and meet a wonderful...
A lovely gnomish lady called Fondue, who we've all fallen in love with and / are terrified of.
She sells me a potion of growth.
I think I literally wrote down... Fondue offers Johnny a potion of growth. Nathan laughs for about 10 minutes.
Well, she says something to the effect of, like, don't you want to be big or something?
No, she was like, hey, do you fancy growing a bit? Or something. It was really dodgy the way she said it, and it was just the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. So I literally held up the game laughing, because I just could not stop laughing.
But
and I was doing it in character as well. And then they started having this big conversation how they like being short because then your teeth are at groin height, so people stop laughing at you. And then I stop laughing.
Suddenly it's not as funny. But anyway, we leave town and we go to a tower that was actually next to something we encountered earlier where we got attacked by bandits on the road many sessions back.
Tried to convince them that we were the
bandit
from
police.
The Union. Yeah, we were from the Union, and they weren't being. They weren't operating with it. That did not fucking work.
But there was a tower next to that, and an
old broken up one.
An old broken up tower, and we go looking around there, and we find a trapdoor. And so.
And I know what you're thinking. Don't you open that trapdoor because there's something down there? But that's literally why you should open that trapdoor, because there might be loot down there.
So we head on down. Go through some little corridors and end up in a room that has a strange orb.
It's like a red, opaque, glowing orb in the middle, and that's like the most obvious and dangerous thing. So we're like, well, we gotta poke it. So, like, Sora casts, like, Detect Magic. She's having a look around. And she's like, well, it looks like there's an outline of a door there, but obviously there's no door there that we can see. So it's like, okay, so maybe that's the doorbell. So I hit it. I'm like, okay, everyone, I didn't just do it out the blue. I was like, okay, I'm gonna press the doorbell, the big red orb. Everyone get ready, and I press the thing, and then this big fucking, like, all this, like, fucking pitch black smoke billows out, and kind of, like, forms into this, like, humanoid, furious, demonic kind of shape. And it's just like, you are not welcome here. And at that point, I turn around and start hammering the orb again, hoping that will turn off whatever's happening.
Just turn it off, turn it off, turn it off.
No, I take it back, I take it back.
The thing, this huge demonic thing, turns around and says, "You are not welcome here."
Yeah.
And combat begins.
Oh, it says that telepathically. I forgot to mention, because as if it wasn't terrifying enough. So combat starts, and trying to fling in spells at this thing, and it's not like my fireballs are not really doing anything to it. They're not doing much to it, and it's like, oh shit. Then a shade just fizzles up beside Talus. And we're like, oh no, it's gating in Shadow Boys. And we managed to take all them down. And as that was the most aggressive doorbell any of us had ever rung.
Yeah, what enemy are they actually?
The main guy was a shadow demon, and then the other two that appeared were shadows. Okay. For anyone who's interested in looking him up or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were like they beat us around a bit, but not too much.
No, we had a bit of a rest because they did kind of hammer us a little bit.
Well, because they managed to like I think it was like one of the ones where I didn't really have much happen to me, but
no, you weren't even hit, I don't think.
Whereas I think Sora and it was either you or Talus.
I took some serious.
The shadow demon was going after Nathan, and then Talus and Sora on the two edges of the room, which has happened to be the dark bits where these shadows appear from. And when a shadow attacks you, it does damage, but it also like drains your strength or drains one of your abilities.
It did, and we all start freaking out.
Yeah, it was strength.
Like, oh shit! Hope this isn't permanent.
But yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah. So we have a short rest because holy hell. Spend some healing surges because holy hell. And Sora's complaining about Talus' sandwiches, apparently. I've just written that. I don't know why. I think she was just like really ragging on them. It's like, fuck Talus' sandwiches.
But so once the demon is killed, then the door opens and we go into the next room. Which is a really interesting one, and like
it's really cool. It's like this big, like, because the tech magic's still working. So Sora's like the floor's glowing, and there's a lot of magic here, and
there's all of these panels on the ground. They're like 3 panels across, and there's like I think 7
deep, yeah.
7 deep, and they're obvious.
Some of them are raised, some of them aren't. It's like obviously there's like you press it on the step on the wrong one, it's probably gonna like I don't know kill us all instantly or something. So we're like.
There's another door, like magical door at the end that's closed. And in the corner, there's some like runes marked on the wall. Some crude runes.
It's like because the Orc language uses Dwarven script. Yeah. So it's basically Orcish, like just like scratched into the wall on the bottom corner, and we're like, huh.
But you weren't meant to know it was Orcish. This is how you got around it.
This is the thing. Okay, so we're all looking at these runes, going, huh. So that must like correlate to like what we're doing. Sora comes up and goes, "That's Orcish,"
and it means left, right.
Yeah. Well, because what was meant to happen in this fight? Just to fill you in. So yeah, it was like I can't remember what the code was, but it was like LLRR ZLZ. Yeah, something like that. So you're meant to think in Dwarvish script. So Johnny's meant to see that, or someone's meant to see it and bring Johnny over. And he'll see, and he'll make the connection LLRR. Okay, Z's a bit weird, but we'll try left, right. So that was what you were meant to do, but Sarah notices it. I said, oh, just out of interest, what language do you speak? Just under the pretense of who can speak Orcish. Dwarvish, sorry, Dwarven. But Sarah says, "Oh, I speak Orcish," and the point was that there was a bit of like Orcish graffiti in the first room, and I made her roll an intelligence check, and she rolled really high in it. So I said she made the connection between that, and then she could see the Orcish words. I can't remember exactly what it said, but basically R
it said
was
lock, rock, zug.
Yeah, and so lock
zug.
was left, so L was left, so you would have done the first two right, and that when you thought it was Dwarvish, you were going to go left, and that would have been right, so you would have done, we've sorted this. But then when the next one was R, you thought it was right, press R, and then it goes horribly wrong. Because R is actually Orcish for the middle one. Or some, that was the idea before you managed to... And then what would have happened is when you got it wrong, I had a random table of I was going to roll a d20, and it was either going to be, depending on the roll of that, it was either going to be a random amount of imps, a random amount of something more powerful, or a even more powerful thing if I rolled a 20. And then it would have got really fun, because while you were fighting, if you were stood on a square with one of the things, if you got hit, I would have had to make you make a dex save, and if you failed that, you accidentally stumble onto a thing which summons more of them, and it would have escalated.
You mean me, the king of fucking up dex saves? Oh, you sinister!
And it would have been really funny, and it would have escalated really quickly. And you bastards avoided the whole thing.
Oh, I see how it is now, though.
To be fair, it's probably good that didn't happen, because after we obviously cheesed out this room somewhat fierce,
we literally just went, there we go, done. Fucking, it was nothing.
I just went, okay, so Sora, what does it say? Okay, so I went, left, centre, right, or whatever it was.
Right, left, right.
Yeah, and just went over the whole thing, like, straight away, and then opened the door, and it was like, hey, cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Then we just walk in. So we leave the magic puzzle room that was rendered completely moot by Sarah just going, I guess I'll speak Orcish, that's fine. Because she's amazing. And sorry, Drama Matt, don't be angry.
No, it's fine.
We come up to a corridor that has that kind of spirals off into two different...
I had forgotten about the second room.
You forgot about the second room? Yeah. You tried to forget.
Oh, and on the way to the second room where Johnny stumbles over a trap.
Oh, does
he?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, shit, let me check my notes, one sec.
Oh, it's only a quick one, so I can fill you in on this one.
Oh, yeah, no.
So Johnny's walking down a corridor. There's like a 30-foot corridor, and then at the end you can see it splits left and right and then spirals downstairs.
Like a spiral kind of staircase, yeah.
Johnny's wandering down this 30-odd foot dark corridor, not checking for traps, and stumbles straight into a trap, surprisingly enough. There's a small magic glyph about 2 foot off the floor on either side of the corridor, slightly glowing, but you would have had to do a check for it. You couldn't just see it. And basically it was a tripwire, which he hit, or a magic tripwire, and gets electrocuted. Which, the funny bit of that is then him proceeding down the rest of the corridor on hands and knees, checking the side of the wall.
He literally immediately throws himself to the floor and starts just belly crawling all the way to the end of the fucking corridor, and we're just all walking behind him okay. We're all fine.
I had to make sure.
But yeah, we choose the left corridor to go down first. So we go down
because there's footsteps going in and out of the left, and they were just going in on the right.
Yeah, so we're let's check the left door. So we go down. Johnny first, Talus first, Johnny behind, and we're yeah. We get to this big kind of room, and it doesn't seem to have really anything in it. Detect magic is just coming up with sconces, so long story short, we spend 15 minutes fucking around and checking for traps and being really cautious of this chest at the end.
Yeah, it's a bright room with a chest right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and we're this is the stereotypical you're gonna get murdered if you go near that chest, or it's a mimic or something.
Especially considering that every other room has been just nonsense at this point.
So yeah, long story short, we cut through and we're checking traps. We're okay. We get around and I'm standing in the doorway because I'm just staying there being something's gonna fuck up, and I'm Johnny, open it facing outwards, so get behind it and open it, because then what if you open it up and it's just gonna be a bunch of fucking teeth, or it's gonna be an explosion? Just fucking open it outwards.
It's gonna be one of the trap chests from Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, so he does. And nothing happens. And we're all okay, who's going to look inside? So yeah, Johnny pops his head over. And it's empty, but for a little thing at the bottom, which Drummer Matt described as, and I quote, a little small sausage. It was a poop.
There was just a small...
There was a mummified orc poop at the bottom of it.
That was what we found.
Yep.
The treasure of this dungeon was a poo.
It was an orc poop.
Or more accurately, the treasure of the dungeon was taken by orcs at some point.
Yeah.
And this was their idea of a joke.
Yeah, because orcs.
Because
In fairness, two orcs, that was basically Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, really. But yeah, so we're like, oh, fuck this. Okay, so let's go up.
Fuck this dungeon in general.
Fuck this dungeon in general, it's dumb. Drummer Matty was not dumb, it's just orcs are dumb, and that made us angry. Please don't hurt me next time. I think you've hurt me enough. So we go around, we decide to go into the next one. You know, we're a little bit less kind of bothered this time, seeing as there was a poop in the other box. And we get down to the bottom of this, and it's this big fucking room with a fucking angel in it. There's a fucking angel holding the sword we want. And we're like, I mean, shit. That's,
I guess we're killing an angel today.
Guess we're killing an angel. And like, this guy looks really fucking ragged. This guy has obviously been through a good few fights, and there's like bones everywhere. So, not many people have been that successful, probably. I mean, he still has his sword. So we get down there, and before, like, anything, he's just like, yeah, no, fuck you, I'm gonna fight you. So we're like, okay,
okay,
that's
I guess
fine.
that's happening. Combat begins.
Yeah, combat begins. You know, Johnny pops his rage. We all get into position, flinging spells and whatnot. So, you know, like, it's a bit of a tough fight. This guy's pretty immense.
I mean, he's not too bad, but we roll pretty well.
We roll really well. It could have been a really difficult fight.
yeah, you took him down, relatively easily, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, I did a couple of really good rolls I was quite proud of, and, you know, we did well.
Does take a few hits on Talus as well.
Yeah, so, like, for you know, just to kind of help you with the positioning, so Sora and I are basically where the stairs are.
Because Caster's back at the back.
Caster's at the back of the line, you know. Johnny is at the left, and on the opposite side is Talus, so they get flanking bonuses. So they're just, like, smacking him back and forth.
Now, it should be noted that as this guy starts getting weaker, at some point, Matt asked me to roll a wisdom saving throw.
We're like, oh shit, he's got some weird brain powers.
That I fail on. Now, there's been hints throughout previous sessions that there is something going off with Johnny to do with centered around his axe that he picked up, his fancy axe.
Picked up and doesn't want to put down again.
And doesn't want to put down again.
And actively
now,
has to try and roll to put it down.
I knew what I was rolling for, and I was like, whilst this fight was going off, I was sitting there checking the entry for the weapon.
Yeah, that made me nervous, sitting next to him, and he's just sitting there on his phone like, okay.
Double checking what's going to happen, and then gradually the reality sinking in of what's about to happen and going, oh god.
So, I'm going to actually not ruin it for you. This is how it went down. Johnny takes a wisdom save. Johnny fails his wisdom save. We're all like, huh, that's weird. Johnny basically lets out this massive berserker howl and just fucking beheads the angel. Just fucking, like, he was basically, like, on his last legs anyway. He took the kill. And we're like, fuck yeah, that's great. Johnny looks up, looks over at Talus, and just raises his fucking axe again. And fucking swings at her.
Yeah, because I was close enough and had an attack left. So
yeah, you just try and behead Talus. I mean, luckily, she's really quick. She's a rogue.
So she managed to use her uncanny dodge.
Yeah.
To take half damage.
Yeah, she took half damage, but the thing is, like, Johnny is so strong, he could... Well, I mean, with us casters, if he rolled well with me at least, he could kill me in one hit.
Yeah, so just to let people know exactly what's going on here, I had... the axe I had is the Axe of the Berserker. If you fail a wisdom saving throw, you basically have to keep attacking whatever creature is near you.
That you can hear or see.
That you can hear or see, even if it's friendly.
Yeah.
Until you're either knocked out or...
Everyone
actually, no,
is
it's
dead.
not even until you're knocked out. There's, like, other rules around that. But that's basically...
It's basically until there's no one there.
Yeah, until you start a turn where you can't see or hear anyone within 60 foot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're knocked out and you have a turn when you're knocked out, that ends it.
Yeah.
Or
but if someone like instantly revives you, yeah.
People run away.
Yeah. If we run away, really good. But the thing is, Johnny has, like, he shares max speed with Talus of 35 feet. Sora and I are like 20, like 30.
Yeah.
So we are not outrunning. I mean, Talus maybe. She might be able to keep pace with him.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you knew exactly what that was the end condition...
That's the thing, yeah, we didn't know that.
You could have run away and then used your dash to get away and then maybe started more than that far away, and it might have been possible if you knew exactly what you had to do, which you had no idea.
But I'm the only one that knew the mechanics of what was going on, and I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. No, of course not. So we're like, oh shit. And like...
And yeah, suffice to say, this attack on Talus takes her down, right?
Yeah, basically.
Oh no, she gets out.
Dodge.
Yeah, she gets out the first one due to uncanny dodge.
Yeah, so but she's wounded.
But
she's you fucked her up.
Yeah, she's already pretty bad, and then so you start hurling.
I'm just like, fuck this, and I start just like unloading on you because I'm like, get the fuck away.
Yeah, like in fairness, it's a fair thing because I have a lot of life.
Yeah, the thing is, we could pelt you and you would not feel much of it. So that's why we just went all out, because we needed to. And
I do not take much damage from anything but magic.
Yeah.
Like, magic's really the only thing that can kill me quickly.
Yeah.
Because of...
That was kind of, well, not kill you, but we wanted to knock you out because we were shouting at you and you just weren't responding. So it's like, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so
Sora's still got a couple of her meteors left and she basically nukes you from orbit.
Yeah.
And, like, just because, like, you down Talus and you turn around and you bolt towards us. So Sora having a couple of meteors left basically nukes you from orbit. Because you get up to us where that's a TPK.
It could very easily
be a TPK.
Well, I mean, I'd still be alive, but there's a very heavy...
Okay, hi, I'm looking for another adventuring party. What happened to your last one? Awkward question.
No. The point is that... I would have survived, and then I would have cooled off, and then, I mean, it would have, in the time it would have taken to revive and stabilize all three of you, it's quite possible one of you could have died.
Quite possible? Very possible.
Yeah, so it's not really a point you want, because this was the point, because I was reading, when I was reading the rules, I was like, this could go really badly, because Talus is the only other character who has any ability to take physical damage.
Yeah.
And even then,
not too much.
They're a rogue, so it wasn't going to be much. Suffice to say, second turn, I just eviscerate her.
Yeah, you just basically belt her so hard she's down instantly.
And then I run towards Sora.
Sora and I, because I think I'm behind Sora, because I'm like I'm a step above her on the stairs, firing over her head.
And I take a swipe at
because you're
Sora.
so brave.
I'm not brave. I just, if everyone gets down, I want to be the one in the position to run for help.
So I take a swipe at Sora, take off most of her health in one hit.
Yeah.
Fortunately, when Sora and Nathan's turn rolls around, you guys were able to...
We went nuts at you.
Yeah, threw everything at me and were fortunately just able to take me down.
We just managed to KO Johnny. And that was terrifying. So, like, immediately I run over to Talus because she's already had a death saving... Like, because you roll 3 death saving throws. And, like, I think she'd passed 1 of her 3.
Yeah.
But we weren't going to take any chances. So I basically run over because, like, my patron is the Undying, so I just get spare the dying. So I stabilise her, and Sora basically takes over. I go over to Johnny, and I'm like, the fuck is happening? So I'm not taking any chances, so I take out my pack, and I fucking hog-tie him.
You do stabilise me first.
I stabilise him. No, I hog-tie you, then I stabilise him.
I don't think you do, because I was multiple saving throws down.
No. There was literally the last one. It was like, I hog-tied you because we were still in initiative order. And then you had, like, I had one more turn before your last one. So yeah, I hog-tied you first because I was like, I don't want him to be stabilised because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because if he's stabilised, maybe he could just pop up and kill me.
Yeah.
That's why I did it in that order.
Okay.
And I hog-tie Johnny. And, like, Sora gives Talus a potion, and she wakes up. We're still in kind of a bit of a bad way, and Sora has a potion herself. And I'm like, Talus, I know you've just gotten up from being axed to fuck. Could you come check these ropes for me? And she comes and checks them, and yeah, they seem fine. And I'm like, we're sitting there looking at him, like, what the fuck do we do now? So, I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, I blindfold him, just because. We take the sword, and we're like, okay, we got to get him back to town. Let's take him to a church. But no, is he possessed? Like, we don't know. So we're like, shit. So we use Sora's stave to, like, basically, like, carry him back on the hogtie. And we're, like, wandering around. And, like, he wakes up, like, just as we're on, like, maybe, like, 40 minutes from town. He's like, hello? Hello?
I'm like, is everyone okay?
And we're like, okay. Are you friends now? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Basically, I'm like, where is the axe? Because it needs to go. And I think I had to pass, like, a wisdom save in order to even get that far.
Yeah. Because it still had quite a hold on you.
Because Johnny knows what's going on with the axe. Like, he kind of gets it. He's like, I am not in control of myself when I'm using that thing. I need it gone. I can't be hurting my friends.
Yeah. So, like, Talus and I start kind of conversing telepathically, being like, we can't... I want to keep him tied up, but maybe he can walk on his own. But maybe keep him blindfolded. So we're kind of working it out, like, what can we do? So we decide what we're going to do is go back to the guardhouse, because we're quite friendly with the guards. And we talk to the guy there, and we're like, could we, like, put Johnny in a cell? And he's kind of, like, watching us kind of bring him in. And he's like, what is going on? And Johnny just turns around in a really innocent voice and goes, I'm a danger to myself and everyone around me. and I'm like, he is. Could we pop him in here for a while? Just like, we'll pay for his meals or whatever. We just need somewhere to keep him. And the guy's like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. So we go and pop him in, and he's like, I'm really sorry. It was actually really heartbreaking how upset Johnny was.
I was not very happy at hurting all my friends.
He wasn't happy. So we put him there, we untie him, and we take his blindfold off, and he doesn't kill us, so we're happy. we untie him, and we're like, okay, we'll go and see what we can do. And he's like, where's the axe? And we're like, we're not telling you. No offense, but there's no way in hell we're telling you. And he's like, okay. Okay, that's fine. Can I have a sandwich? And, like, we were like, yeah. So we organised for him to get food and everything, and then we leave. And we're like, okay. Let's go to, like, one of the local churches and get this thing, like, de-cursed. Like, see if it's cursed or anything. And so we go there. I wait outside because Talus literally turns around to me and is like, are you alright in churches? Are you going to set fire? Are you going to combust? And I'm like...
You are a warlock.
Okay, don't say that so loudly. But yeah, like, because, Nathan being a blood magic user, he's like, hey, you're right, I should probably stay outside. So she goes in and she's like, she asks the priest there, and it's like, so, like, I got this sword, I got this axe, and I'm worrying that maybe it's cursed and it's made my friend hurt us. And he's like, okay, well, I mean, we can either... Like, we can break the curse from the person, which will cost you, like, 90 gold, or we can just remove all the magic from the item and the curse for 500. And we're like...
Probably.
Yeah, probably. And she's like, shit, that's a lot for probably. I'm very poor. Which we're not. We're pretty fucking minted, actually.
We got, like, 3 grand from the room with the angel.
Yeah.
Just in
Killing
treasure.
angels pays, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else.
Around.
Yeah. So, like, she comes out, so basically she's under the guise of discussing it with me and getting money from me. And she just tells me what's going on. I'm like, yeah, no, that axe needs to die. So we pay the money, and we leave, and we just get drunk because we're, like, feeling really horrible. And we send like, some beer. We send, like, a barrel of ale, because we had a big fucking...
A far too long conversation about how much ale is in a keg.
Yeah, so we sent, like, a keg over of ale to the guardhouse for Johnny and everyone there, because we're just nice
An important point is that the decursing will take a day.
It takes, like, an entire day, because it's a big job, so we're like, okay, gotta kill time for a while.
Because I'm still in jail. I have started writing a song about my experiences, because after all, I am an entertainer.
Because we do visit Johnny after we go to the church and basically take his loot... Lute in, and we're like, there you go, and we told them what's going on. We said, we'll be back tomorrow, Arvo, to pick you up, and if the curse is lifted, and then we go, and then we send everything.
So I'm basically in jail writing my magnum opus. You guys are getting quite sozzled.
Yeah.
Next day, you guys go in and the axe is free of curse.
Yeah, he's like,
And-
it's completely free. It was tricky, but we managed it.
And on Johnny's request of that just not wanting anything to do with it,
We go and we hang around the docks and we see if we can hawk it to someone who's actually leaving port, which we do for 10 gold.
because it's completely benign now.
Yeah,
The curse is gone.
Because by removing, like, basically the curse thing, it removes everything magical about it. So we were like, hey, do you want just a nice looking axe? And this guy buys it and takes it out. And then we're like, okay, we can go free Johnny now.
And I have, by this point, I have finished my song, and I have declared it to be my magnum opus, my greatest work, which I have referred to it as Wood Elfian Rhapsody, which we'll get to in a second. Anyway, we have a bit of a discussion. I give everyone hugs because I didn't want to hurt anyone.
That was weird.
And we go to a shop and buy myself a fancy new Warhammer as a replacement.
Yeah, Sora's like being a nerd at this point, and
Yes, Sarah was quite tired.
pregnancy sleepiness. So
Her character was sleeping at this point.
yeah, her character was like sleeping at home doing books.
But anyway, at this point we level up and
Level 6.
we're all level 6, and everyone does all that stuff and manages to, whilst rolling for HP increases, 3 of the 4 people all roll a 1.
Yes, I did.
Which
Because
is
of course I rolled a 1.
which is not ideal.
No.
But I decided to do something differently. So I, at the start, was tempted to multi-class into Bard. Not because it would be efficient, but because that would be fun to have a Barbarian.
Because roleplay-wise, it makes sense for your
Yeah,
character.
even if it's not a particularly good one. But
Yeah.
the whole thing of me writing my magnum opus while under emotional trauma and leveling up at the same time, I was like, ooh, that would be tempting, but I was like 1 stat short.
You were 1 point short on your charisma. You need 13 charisma.
Yeah, and I only have 12. But I mentioned it to you, Matt, and you were like, thematically, like, this would be
This
a
makes so much sense. Like,
It's too perfect.
because you have written, because like my character is not is effectively in roleplay terms is sort of a bard, but mechanically isn't because they're a barbarian. I just had like this wild man who just happens, he's just a punk rock like barbarian. But you said no, you can take it because it thematically works really well.
It just means you'll just be a bit shit.
I'll just be a bit shit at it, so I was like, okay, so yeah, I have now multi-classed into Bard, and I've taken spells that are largely to help people, to heal people. I sort of like went full roleplay with like what things I was taking as well. Like, so my powers have manifested in ways that are to be contrary to what happened. As to rather than to hurt my friends, I'm going to help them. And also, for reasons that you'll soon see, I took Thundershock, I think it's called, which can knock people back. But there's a reason for that, which you might have worked out already. But anyway, technically that hasn't manifested yet, and we start talking about what we're going to do with the sword. Because this guy who we're giving it back to is shady as absolute fuck.
Yeah, so it's like we don't know what this sword does. It's obviously magical, but we honestly cannot pin down. We don't know what it does. So we're like, so do we not give it to him? Do we pretend that we didn't find anything? And Nathan, having dealt with some shady people previously from experience, is like, we can't. We have to give him the sword. But we maybe we can cheese it a little bit.
Because we're not told it's a magic sword. We're just told he wants a sword from there.
We're just told that he wants a sword. So we're like, you didn't tell us to...
he said to help with his defense issues, but he didn't give any more insight. Other than that.
Exactly. So he didn't say, go get this magical sword that I want.
Yeah.
So, we only know what we're told. We don't know that this is a magical sword. So we decide that what we're going to do is take it back to the priest who decursed Johnny's axe and ask him to identify the magical item. So we go there. I wait outside again. So and Talus, and because Johnny carries it sideways because it's a big sword the whole way. So that's a comedy of errors in and of itself. They get in there and the guy's like, "Okay, I'll go have a look." And he kind of has like a moment where he's like communing with whatever and being all spooky and cool. And he's like, "Okay, So, this weapon isn't a good weapon. Because it's what it does is means that if you are attuned to this magical weapon, you can basically enslave people.
And considering how dodgy the guy is, this seems like a bad thing to give him.
It seems like a horrific thing. I mean, like, the priest he's obviously really, like, quite, like, not okay with this weapon existing.
He's like, this is a bad thing, we don't... be careful with this.
So everyone comes out and tells me what's going on, and I'm like... And we all agree as a group, like, we need to remove all the magic from this, because we cannot have someone like that with a sword like this. So we go back in, and the guy's like, okay, that's a very good choice you've made. I would be very happy to do that, but we still have resources. How about half price? So we're like, take it, that's fine. That's absolutely fine, we don't care.
And we, obviously this takes a day
This
again.
takes a day,
so we go off, and
wander.
I had requested to put on a gig that night because I wanted to play my magnum opus, which is, you know, my new thing, my Wood Elfian Rhapsody. And because I've been preparing for this so much, I roll for my performance because we're back at the inn. I've said, you know, I'm gonna sit. It's gonna be a solo performance. I want my friends to sit at the front because this is to them. This is to them. And I roll for my performance, and I've got advantage, and because of that, I managed to roll a nat 20. So I put on what is literally the best performance of my life with a song that opens on the lines of, Grandma, I just killed an elf. Put my great axe to her head, swung my weapon, now she's dead.
Which is what happened with Talus!
Which is what happened. Because
she's kind of like drinking, like, ugh,
still
feeling the pain.
Because out of character, of course, I had a long time whilst I was hogtied to think up lyrics to this.
Yeah.
So I put on this performance, and you know, there's a whole part of thunderbolts and lightning, so that's why I've got the lightning spell.
Yeah.
So I put on the best gig of my career.
Like, we couldn't have planned the whole thing any better, to be honest. Like,
it was perfect.
It all just falling into alignment for you, for then perfect time for you to take up part.
And yeah, so put on this great gig, and you know...
And I only have a couple of beers.
Nathan actually stays remarkably sober because you're nervous about the fact that tomorrow we are going to have to go and try and blag giving what a guy is expecting to be a magical sword to him and only getting a regular sword. Because the next morning we do go and we find, yes, the magic has been removed, and
now we've literally left it at the part where we have to go and take it to him.
And it's...
So, fingers crossed Amdir doesn't fucking kill us all, because he could easily do that.
On the bright side, I now have healing spells because my bardic powers manifested during the gig.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
But yeah, that was the D&D stuff. That took a while.
That took a
actually
while.
Explain.
Yeah.
There was a lot of little things that went on, despite like it not being like in terms of sessions actually that long.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it was a lot of little things.
It was,
explain.
but I mean, like, hopefully we'll be playing more soonish, and we won't have it built up as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that's where we are, and we're all quite nervous.
Just a side note on the Berserker axe. So that was when I do loot for you guys. I tend to I'll roll randomly on the tables and then kind of mix and match a few bits to make it fitting, a bit more fitting. So not completely rolling for no reason, but then I might change things a little bit if something's completely not appropriate or whatever.
Yeah.
But with this axe, I rolled for it and I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And I glanced through, but I didn't have a proper read of what exactly it did. I knew the gist of it, but I didn't exactly know, how easy it was. Because it's like every time you take damage, you have to do a wisdom save or go berserk. And you take damage quite often.
Yeah. I mean, he's the tank, so that's kind of what he does.
So, yeah, so that was fun. Kind of accidental, but...
Accidental.
But you've done a cool thing where you only introduced its powers to me gradually over time.
Yeah, I thought it'd be better rather than just all of a sudden happening. I thought it'd be better sort of, first off you feel, a strong bond with it, and then you start feeling a bit weird about using other weapons and kind of drip feeding what it did to you as you sort of spent more time with it.
because it was only sort of during the last couple of like this kind of section of games and like the one previous that it was fully manifested, and I just managed to pass my wisdom saves in the previous one, or been in situations where I was like miles away from people, so it was fine. But yeah, so it was, it was. I mean, it was cool because it did actually become, you know, a little.
It's a really cool bit
a little
like
mini story that kind of
Yeah.
just spun off from that, and it just naturally evolved to be a thing, because that was just like that whole thing of me going like getting taking like trying to take down the party, getting knocked out, hogtied, brought back, us having going the whole thing of going to the, you know, place and getting the thing decursed, and me writing my magnum opus, becoming going
a
into
barbarian.
Bard. That was all natural.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
That wasn't
none of it was
planned.
planned.
And
was
it
just
tied in quite nicely for you you finding out that you can decurse a weapon just in time for that possibly be, because I was thinking, I want to make sure you're aware that it's an option, because I want to give you a choice as to what you're going to do with this sword. And obviously, whatever you choose, if you give it to him, it will have some consequence. If you don't give it, it'll have a whatever you do will have some sort of consequence. But how can I tell you what your options are without trying to lead you down a path? So
That's like the tricky part about being a good
So it
DM.
ended up like working really well, because I could make sure your characters knew that trying to remove a curse was a known thing that people do for this, and then it kind of drip fed that information for what you might do next. So I was like, oh, this is working really well.
Yeah.
No, it was just so fucking well done, and it was very natural and a great bit of fun. And now I'm terrified of Amdir just basically having us all hanged.
It could happen.
It could
might
happen. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the D&D.
Yes.
So moving on from D&D, usually we'd have questions. Unfortunately, I'm being really unprofessional and I need to bugger off. So I'm going to request we wait till next time, and we'll just do a bigger bunch of questions then, if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
And also tell us why Johnny is your favourite waifu in the questions.
And the email to send those questions to is onlydrawmat@snipeandwib@gmail.com. It's in the description. We know it's stupid.
I do want to just mention one person who emailed in, because they emailed in a second time after previously emailing in back in June, I think it was, and I apparently just they had a nice long email with like 7 or 8 questions in it, and I'd apparently completely blanked it and just didn't reply, just didn't acknowledge it. So sorry, Robert.
Drama is horrible. We're sorry,
Robert. I did get your email, and we'll go through it next time with the others. I just wanted to mention that because I feel really bad, because I genuinely didn't know. I don't know what happened. Like, he sent this other email, and I noticed above there was a bigger one. You know, Gmail like shows previous ones, and I was like, it's not like I read it and forgot. I just hadn't read it, but it wasn't marked as unread. who knows? Apologies.
Sorry,
we'll
dude.
get to it next time.
Drama Matt is the worst.
I am the worst. I'm sorry.
So yes. So Drama Matt, we'll get off now so you can go get ready, you poor boy. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Snipe, that's been Wib, and that's been Drama Matt, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
I'm a that now, apparently.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Jerk.